welcome to August of the Patreon behind-the-scenes production diary podcast thing. Oh god, I am recording this episode late as fuck because I just got back from seeing AEW Collision and also Ring of Honor fucking TV taping with my sister. And let me tell you, I enjoy wrestling. I'm not as much of a hardcore fan as I was just a few years ago, but I still enjoy it, and I like seeing it live. It's a very good time. I enjoyed what all I saw, but god damn, is it stressful. It's stressful getting to the venue on time, stressful getting to your seat. You're always super fucking OCD about like not being a pain in the ass to the people next to, in front of, or behind you. You're trying to get all your shit in, enjoy chanting and whatnot. If you have to go to the bathroom or the concession stand, God forbid, you're going to be a pain in the ass, and it's going to be really stressful because you don't want to miss stuff. And then you add the extra stress of I'm doing all that with my sister, who I love, and I believe I've talked about a little bit on this podcast before, but it depends on where I'm at in life. Sometimes I'm rather open about it, other times I like to keep the whole shit with her close to my chest, but for the sake of this, I'll just say my sister is a chore, and she did not make it easy on me. We had a good time, but ooh, Lord, it was a lot. But I'm back now. It's 1 a.m. I'm recording this for you guys because I wanted to make sure I got it done tonight, and I got a couple other things I need to get done before I get to bed. I'm probably not getting to bed until late as fuck. Because I'm just generally behind on everything. I've been trying to play catch up all goddamn week, and it's just not happening because the things got off to a rocky start, you know. I was trying to make some stuff happen on Sunday. I think you'll remember from the end of the last podcast, I wanted to shoot everything Sunday morning, ended up oversleeping and then having a thing happen, and then I got to the campus and I got 2 videos shot, and then I was like, okay, I think I have time to at least do the third. And then the fucking cop from the DC video, he showed up and wanted to talk to me again. I don't even think he recognized me for the first little bit because I like said something that made him kind of like light up and realize who I was and take the conversation in another direction. But basically ate up all the rest of the time I had, and I had to immediately leave to go meet up with my mom to go to my nephew's birthday party, which was like 40 minutes out of town. It was a long-ass drive. And on top of that, it was just not optimal, you know? I don't know where I was going with that, but basically, at the moment, only the first 2 videos for this month are shot. I've only got the Godzilla vs. Biollante video, which just went up today, and next week's video, the Kamen Rider Drive video, are shot. So I'm probably going to have to shoot the other 2 either... Well, I definitely can't do it this weekend at this point, because stuff is continuously backing up, but I'm probably going to have to end up doing that next Saturday morning, which will be fun. Shooting videos in the middle of the fucking month. Sweating my ass off twice in as many weeks. Oh boy, I'm so excited about that. Hopefully they come out good. I mean, the Godzilla vs. Biollante video seems to have come out fairly well. It's gotten a decently good first day response. I'll admit, I probably could have had that up earlier in the week, but I did drag my feet on it a little bit because Boingo Rider is whipping up a new title smash for me, a new kind of evergreen title smash. Because I had been planning to have him do that at the end of the theme months, when the plan was originally to have it be a trilogy of theme months, because it was going to be like, alright, we'll kind of get a feel for the kind of direction I want these things to go in for the channel, with doing unique ones for each month, and then you'll make me an evergreen one, and it'll be good. I'll be able to slightly clean up the style of videos, and having to switch gears halfway through Freedom Month, he still hasn't finished the Evergreen title smash, and it'll probably be done in time for the Drive video, but the Godzilla vs. Biollante video just kind of had to go out without it because I needed to hit that end of the week deadline, and I still think it's good. I'm still fairly happy with how it turned out. You know, it was kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision to do that while I was coming up with the new plan for this month, of just like, oh yeah, I can get a hold of that and rewatch that really easily right now, and I've always wanted to do that since I got more seriously into Tokusatsu. Let's do that, and let's just make a video about early impressions of it this time around. And I think that came out fairly well. People seem to have enjoyed it. Just wish the new intro title smash thing could have been in there. Hopefully we'll have that ready for next week. That's all I really have to say about that one. It's not too much that got cut out of there. Maybe in a couple spots I took a joke on a little longer than it goes in the actual video, and I was just like, this isn't as funny as if I cut it here. That kind of thing. Nothing really major changed about that video during editing. That's kind of where I am right now. Is just I'm a little backed up on everything. I'm trying to get my shit back together because my nephew is now staying with his godparents until my sister's whole legal situation gets resolved and she can have custody of him again, which means that me and my mom have a lot more spare time on our hands, or at least we would if it wasn't back to school season. So work is swamping us right now, and I'm coming home completely wore out most nights and not being able to get as much done in the evening as I have been. I'm not even back to the full school year schedule of doing 5 8-hour shifts a week. I'm still on the 410s, and I'm not managing to squeeze enough into Monday to really make that beneficial for me right now. So, I don't know. It feels like this whole month is probably going to be a real uphill battle to get back to the normal I was at the start of the year. But hopefully, once we're through it, things will be much better. But for right now, I'm just going to keep being a trooper, and I'll see you guys in a week. You know, when I was a kid, I used to hear people say the phrase, bad habits are hard to kick a lot, mainly in reference to stuff like smoking cigarettes, because that was a perpetual constant in my youth, was my parents both constantly trying to quit smoking, was failing. And what they don't ever tell you is something that I've been realizing this last week, which I'm recording on the 11th, but it will be the 12th in 5 minutes, so take your pick. That good habits are easy to lose track of. That opposite statement is very much true. Once you lose track of them, it's very hard to get back on that bike, and that's something I've been dealing with a lot this week, because I've been trying to get much more in the tune of getting up early and going and working out and eating healthy again, now that I don't have the excuses of, we're busy trying to take care of the nephew and there's all this other life stuff going on and I just can't keep track of it. I have been trying to get back to that stuff, but man, it is not easy. There have been a couple of days recently where I've just barely made it to the gym, and even then I'm not getting full workouts in because of the way my work schedule is right now. And as such, I haven't really felt like posting about it much. And remember, at the start of the year, I was pretty actively on social media talking about working out and I've kind of phased that out in recent months, and that's really just because I haven't been able to keep up with it as much as I like, and I've kind of stagnated in my weight loss. I think I actually put on about 10 or 15 pounds in the last 2 months. That's not muscle, and that really kind of upset me, but I'm trying to get back to it, and hopefully that will be something that I can accomplish very soon, especially with I'm going to be switching back to 5 8-hour shifts work schedule this coming Monday, with back to school being the week after next. So I'm gonna have a little more time in the morning and evenings to myself, but I'm also not gonna have that full extra day to myself anymore, which I think is a good thing, because honestly, I never really used the full Monday to its fullest advantage. I kind of slacked off and let stuff drag on a little longer than I normally would on Mondays because I was just like, I have a whole extra day. I can get this and a couple other things done, so why worry about it? The fact of the matter is I really should have been hammering home on certain things at that time, and I could have been a lot further along in certain departments of life at that time, or by now, I mean. But that's neither here nor there. That's just something that's going on. And another thing that's going on is I've been really trying to get through my to read and to open piles. I've been making steady progress on both. It's just one is a little bit more visually evident than the other because I'm like opening 2 to 5 toys off of the to open pile a day, so it's decreased a lot. It's actually almost shorter than the desk now, which is nice. But part of that was, we're in that weird period where summer school is over and all the teachers are preparing for fall semester, so there's like nothing for me to do all day. So I have been bringing toys to work and opening and messing around with them in the janitor closet with the extra time I have. And of course, I'm not going to have that time after this coming. And on top of that, I've now hit a point where most of the things on the to open pile, their boxes are far too big to be, I guess not snuck into work, but taken into work inconspicuously, because I've been just bringing them in big, opaque black shopping bags, like the plastic ones that you get from the grocery store, because the local vintage toy store has been giving those out with purchases recently, because before they used to have like the takeout thank you bags. I don't know why they switched to that. Maybe it was cheaper, but either way, you can't really see what's in it as long as you have it wrapped up fairly well. So I was just like, I can just bring that in, and it's plausible deniability. Not that I'm embarrassed of being toys. That's something I don't want people to find out about me. More so that just like if people see like, oh, the janitor is bringing his hobby to work, clearly he doesn't have enough to do, let's heap extra work on him, and I don't want that. So I've been doing that. Nothing incredibly notable that you're not going to hear about on a modular media podcast that I've opened yet, but or on my own social media, because I do tend to post if I feel something I've opened is of particular note. But on the read pile, I've actually been rereading Watchmen, because I recently found a recent trade of that at one of the discount stores next to where I work for $5. I believe trades of its size usually go for like 20 or 30 these days. And it's not like a version of it that's valuable at all. I think it's like a recent reprint they did to tie in with the HBO show. But I've actually never owned Watchmen before. I was that guy who in my library had a copy of Watchmen, and I would check it out like once or twice a year in my early teens. But I've never owned a copy, and I haven't read it in quite a few years now. I don't think since before I was a YouTuber. It was probably the last time I actually read through Watchmen all the way. And I'm not far yet. I just got to the end of the second issue because I'm just taking it in as however much I can get through before I'm bleary-eyed enough to go to sleep at around my bedtime each night. Because that's how I like older comics. But it has been interesting, just in like how effortless so much of it seems, and how nonchalant about itself it seems, and yet how revolutionary it was for the time, and it usually is for people who first read it and don't know a lot about it. But there's still quite a bit left to go, so my take this time around could change quite a bit the next time we record. But that's pretty much it as far as the goings on this week. It's been a very straight-laced, just trying to get through it as best I can kind of week. And a big part of that has been like, hey, I just uploaded the Drive video for the patrons, the Kamen Rider Drive video, and I think it turned out fairly well. There's a few bits where I'm like, I could have been a bit more clear about this point. I could have said it in a much more tight, succinct way, but I was also like semi in a hurry when I was recording it, as we talked about last time. And obviously, I'm not sure how certain people will react to the takes in it. Like, I won't lie, part of the reason I made that video is because of some memes I've seen my buddy Tim Shields of Zaya Enterprise America posting in the last few months, that I'm like, I get why you would have that take, but I really disagree with it, man. And it's not just him. I've seen other people have similar takes on Drive before, and it was just like having that kind of like once every couple weeks reminder in the form of his memes that take exists. I was like, yeah, the Drive video needs to happen this year. And it was going to be like a couple of months from now, but then obviously there was the big schedule change, and I was like, okay, it's going to go here. And I'm glad I finally got my perspective on Drive off my chest, and I now have a thing I can point to as, hey, here's how I feel about Drive, because for the longest time it was like I would just kind of go through life and be like, yeah, Drive's a solid show. It's not the best, but it's also far from the worst, and that's generally how everybody feels about it. Oh, here's a guy who really doesn't like Drive because he really misinterpreted Go and Chase's relationship, or he just really doesn't like police officers in real life. Alright, that's weird. Whatever. Moving on. Oh, that's gonna bug me for the rest of the days. Because that's just generally how I am. But, yeah, video came out pretty well. Still don't have the intro ready. Boingo's been very busy with life stuff, so I just kind of told him, like, hey, give me an update at the end of the week, and if it's ready to go close, I'll hold off an extra day on the video, and if not, then I'll just go ahead and get it out the door. He sent me a new demo of the music for the intro, and I'm liking how it's coming along. But there is a part of me that's just like, man, we were supposed to have this ready 2 weeks ago. I'm a little annoyed, but also he's my buddy, and I already paid him, so I'm just gonna patiently wait and hope it doesn't take this long to get the video package for Super Bowl ready, which I believe I've told you guys about in something. Yeah, that's what's happening next month. And we'll go into more detail about that probably at the end of this podcast, especially because I am going to be shooting most of it tomorrow. I've got a very busy day blocked out for tomorrow, where in the morning I'm actually going to try and shoot not only the other 2 videos for this month, but all the videos for next month in one go. And I'm actually going to be using a different location because they're having extended registration at the college campus again tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to get out to the campus on Sunday morning this week, so it's like I have to shoot Saturday, or there's not going to be a video this week, so I'm going to go ahead and go for broke and try and get a little bit ahead, and we will see how that goes, because I've also got a bunch of other stuff I need in the afternoon, evening, and it's just all around going to be a mad day of dashing around tomorrow. I suppose we'll see how that goes when I come back in another week. So until then. So it's the 16th now, and you never really can tell how a video is going to go over until it's been out for a couple of days, I think, because the Drive video came out, and I recorded last week's podcast, and I was like, it's doing alright. It's doing fairly good for me. That's cool. It doesn't seem like anybody's super upset about it, and that's better than I could have expected, so there we go. That's good. Time to move on to the next thing, and then it just fucking blew up. It just kept going. It hasn't gone like crazy numbers yet, but for me this year, it's done really good. Like, it's up there with the Writer in the West video and the Tokuger video in terms of just, this is doing way better than I could have hoped for, and I'm pretty happy about that. So that was like a major win for me this week, and I just wanted to make sure we got that in the Production Diary, since I was a little too early to talk about it last week, but we'll get to this week's video in a little bit. First of all, I do need to, Jesus Christ. I do need to mention that the whole thing I was talking about last week about like trying to get the frickin' 9 videos shot in a day or whatever it was, that did not happen at all. I have been super fatigued pretty much since I recorded the last podcast because of something I'll talk about. And actually, why don't I just fucking talk about it at the same time? Work has really ramped up. I was expecting it to be like a calm kind of easing into the new school semester over this week. Went in Friday, there was a lot of stuff they needed me to do, and then I went in Monday and there was a lot of stuff they needed me to do, and over and over and over again. My boss is just giving me constant to-do lists of shit he's like never even really cared about me doing. Like I've never been asked to do it in the entire 2.5 years I've worked at this building. But they're getting real concerned and real uppity about making sure everything's in tip-top shape for the start of the fall semester. So I'm on my feet pretty much all day, every day now, and the only time I can really stop to look at my phone is when I go on my lunch break. So like everything is kind of getting posted, if it has to be posted on a weekday, around that hour space, and it's not optimal. It's not a great way to live, especially because a lot of the stuff they're having me do, like I said, is oddball. So I'm like bending down and getting on all fours and getting down on one knee and all kinds of shit I'm not used to doing at work. I'm not really used to doing much of anything at work because for the last 4 months or however long summer vacation was, I've barely had to do anything aside from just keep the bathrooms clean for the faculty that's still coming in and clean up after the few summer school classes we had. So it really is like we went from nothing to shit right to fuck. And it is really blowing me out. I felt pretty much consistently fatigued since I recorded that last podcast, and it's doing me no favors. I've been oversleeping, I've been just feeling really tired and not fully cognizant during the evening a lot, and it's hard to get going in the morning. So on Saturday, that whole shooting thing did not happen. I woke up late, I wasn't feeling it, there was other stuff that needed to get done that day, and I ultimately decided we'll do it Sunday. We'll squeeze it in Sunday somehow. And then as I got further and further along in the Saturday, I was like, that's just not going to work. I think I need to completely redo my weekly schedule like I've been teasing about, and get like shit mapped out for how we're going to handle the fall semester. Get like a day by day rather than the just get to things in order as quick as you can schedule I've been on for the last few months, and it has helped me out a lot, but it's also meant that like I literally don't have enough time in a week to bulk record anymore, and I don't even want to be going to the campus to bulk record right now because of how much activity there is with all the new students coming in, getting a feel for the place and this, that, and the other thing, even on the weekends, because a lot of them are going to be in the dorms. So I am, like I said, shooting on the back trail that runs behind my neighborhood, but I'm also pretty much down to 1 video a week. And I think I made a text-only production post about this, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about it in here for what's the word? Posterity. I almost said prosperity, and that's why I had to stop and think. But posterity is why I wanted to talk about this. Make sure it's in here and it's preserved, and it's the train of thought is complete, basically. So right now we're kind of down to, I plot out the video of sometime between Thursday and Friday, Friday, Saturday kind of area. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's plotting out the video time. Sunday is shooting the video. Tuesday is editing the video. I have to get it all done in one sitting because I don't have another night free to edit. I've got to do bunch of other stuff during the other nights because I don't have Monday to do it on anymore, and the weekend has to be for certain things. So I'm really feeling the effects of doing weekly videos again, whereas I think I had gotten kind of comfortable with it during the summer to the point where I was okay with like, oh, let's just shoot 2 now, it'll be fine, I can work around this. I'm now at a place of like, yeah, I can only shoot 1 a week, and who knows if I'll actually be able to get it out because I only have 1 night to edit, and oh god, I'm tired of every night, this sucks. And I'm not saying like, oh god, I want to quit or anything like that, but man, I am just kind of blown out and at my limit. Right now my legs feel very sore from having to basically crawl around on the floors, scraping any stains or anything off of the main hallways of my building today, because that's the kind of fun stuff I'm getting up to at work right now. And on top of that, I haven't been able to get to the gym at all since like last week. I keep either, like I said, waking up late or other stuff gets in the way. And one of the things that's been getting in the way is my mom's car, the air conditioning in it isn't working. So I had to leave for work at a specific time so I could meet her over there and we could drop it at the mechanics today. And we thought, might have to leave later today to go pick it up. Nope, they had to order a part, so it won't be ready till tomorrow afternoon. So for like this 48-hour period, there's only 1 car for me and my mom, which means I have to kind of bend over to her schedule, and it's just complicating things, you know. On the bright side, she's gonna buy me a tank of gas when we're done, but man, it's taking the wind out of my sails, is the way I put it. I'm just trying to get through things, you know. And one of the things I really had to get through was the Ultra Q video, because obviously that came out way quicker than I think anyone expected, because shot it Sunday morning, made that production post, and then it was on Patreon at like 2 minutes past midnight that following night, which is technically Thursday morning or Tuesday morning, but who cares. It got out real fast, and I think it came out okay. I say as I yawn so hard that it fucking distorts my voice, but yeah, I think that video came out pretty well. The people who watched it seem to like it. It's obviously not doing drive numbers, but it's doing okay. And it was just such a quick turnaround because, again, didn't have a lot of time to shoot, and then I had to get it up Monday night because of scheduling conflicts with Twit and everything else that's going on Modular this week. But ultimately, I think I like the finished product. The only thing that really bothers me about it is there's a couple little bits I had to cut out here and there because for some reason I said that the main characters of the show aren't even in the first episode, and they totally are. I don't know where I got that idea from, but I mentioned that a couple of times, and I had to cut those out, and it made a few awkward points that I think might have stuck out to people. They certainly stuck out to me because I was editing it, but I just did the best I could. Hopefully it still came out pretty smoothly. And other than that, there's not really much to say about that one. Like I said, I shot it on the trail. The area where I shot it, the specific spot on the trail, is actually like directly behind my house. But I didn't just like walk out from the house to the trail and do that. I went down to the clubhouse and walked until I found a point that I was pretty comfortable with, and it just so happened to be right there. And for future videos, we'll probably be going further and further into the trail until I run out of spots or get to the other side or some shit. Like a fucking snake scares me off. But right now, it's kind of where it is, and I feel like it's going to be that way for a while. I don't want this podcast to become back as constantly just deflated and going like, yeah, it's just the thing. But we'll see how long it takes me to really get into the swing of the school year, you know what I'm saying? Because right now there's not much else holding me up than just gotta get it done. Wrestling certainly isn't. Wrestling shit the bed again this week with CM Punk shooting off his goddamn mouth again, and every fucking person on the goddamn planet throwing their 2 cents in. And it was just amazing to me because I literally had been getting back into it. I'm like, okay, all the drama seems to have calmed down, All In's coming up, I got tickets to Collision, I'm going to give AEW a shot and I'm going to get back into it. And I was generally feeling the free episodes of TV I saw before this thing happened, and then I was like, fuck it, done, no thank you, I will be spending my time elsewhere. And that's kind of how I feel about it. Fuck wrestling, fuck CM Punk, fuck everything about that industry. I was listening to fucking Alvarez and Meltzer discuss it earlier today, or maybe it was last night, and I think at one point they were going, like, Alvarez was trying to explain to Dave why he thought everyone was upset and they still needed to talk about it, and Meltzer said something like, well, he's the big star, he's the face of the company, and it's always been that way in wrestling, that person gets to dictate what can and can't happen on the show, because they're always going to throw their weight around like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's why most of us are mad about this. I don't give a fuck about CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page, or CM Punk and the Young Bucks having some kind of feud based off of all this backstage drama shit. I could literally give less of a fucking shit. What pisses me off is that CM Punk made his name being a guy who raged against some of the toxic traditionalism in wrestling. And then AEW was built on, we're going to be the company for a younger generation that doesn't have that stuff, that nips that stuff in the bud and doesn't allow it. And now literally the entire company is bending over backwards so that CM Punk can get to do whatever he wants to do and feel comfortable in his special little special boy show on Saturdays. It's the exact same shit both this company and this person were supposed to stand against, and they're just letting it happen. They're just doing that because David Zaslav thinks CM Punk is one Bill Phil, and it makes me sick, honestly. It's like, okay, well, the bit of hope I had that wrestling might get better as an industry, and it might be something I could legitimately take pride in being a fan of, it's fucking gone now. You ruined it. You had this perfectly good, nice little corner of the wrestling industry that I could recommend to anybody, and now that's gone. Fucking thanks, Phil. That's how I feel about that. On the contrast, though, I am almost done with Better Call Saul. I've got 3 episodes left. Ooh, I'm in the late game now. And I am just trying to savor it, because that show is so damn good. It's legitimately, I am as gripped by these recent episodes I've been watching as I was the final season of Breaking Bad. And I don't think, on the whole, I'm going to be able to say the show is better than Breaking Bad, but like if they stick the landing with this, and obviously most people think they have, because the landing's been out for a while now. But if they stick the landing for me when I watch the final episode, I think it will be as good as Breaking Bad. And they'll be like inseparable. They are a duology that you have to watch one after the other. So don't watch Better Call Saul first, because most of it takes place before Breaking Bad, because there's enough flash forwards that do occasionally reference Breaking Bad that I feel like you're not going to like those moments as much if you haven't seen Breaking Bad. So watch Breaking Bad first, then watch Better Call Saul, and you'll have a magnificent television viewing experience. God, I wish I could fucking be in a place. I wish I could be that person who it's all over, it's all out now, and I just watch it all from episode 1 of Breaking Bad. I watch all of Breaking Bad, then I watch all of Better Call Saul, then I watch El Camino, and I get that amazing experience front to back. Because I'm never going to have that. I could just do that when I finish Better Call Saul, go back and start at the beginning and work my way forward, but it's not going to be a first time viewing. It's not going to have as much impact for me as it could have. I would love to have that experience, and I'm incredibly envious of anyone who gets to do it. So if you haven't checked out either of those shows or that movie yet, fucking go do that. Watch it all in release order and have a grand old time. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with all that. Very, very busy, very tiring week, and a mixed bag of media. So that's that week. And I'll see you in another week. fucking god, it's fucking what the shit out my ass is it now? It's the fucking 23rd. The last segment of the month is the fucking 23rd. Although this will probably come out on the 24th or the 25th, depending on how fucking busy I am the next couple days. I don't know. I'm fucking done already. Less than a week into the school year, and everybody is just being a colossal dumbass in the most annoying ways possible. There's fucking new and exciting bullshit going on in personal life in regards to the situation with my nephew that I don't even want to speak about in at all detail to anyone outside of my immediate family, but it is frustrating me so much that it's just the first thing that comes to my mind when I'm fucking pissed off. Everybody at work I have interacted with in the last 3 days has been a dumbass in some way. Fucking all the idiot drivers just came out of the woodwork. I'm not normally somebody who gets mad in traffic. I normally let a lot of shit slide as long as my car doesn't get fucked up. But oh my god, I have come so close to having legitimate, like, I'm going to get out of my car and beat the shit out of you road rage this last week. And it is really starting to bubble over, because I've been trying to do better, I swear to god, I fucking have. I've really been trying to get some real tight structure around my week. I've been trying to make it, you fucking get up at fucking 6, 7 in the morning, you walk the dog, you make and eat breakfast, you go to the fucking gym, you work out, you shower, you go to work, you do your shit, you fucking come home, and you do the specific fucking online shit that needs to get done that night every fucking day of the week until Friday. Then you're allowed an evening to relax and do something fun, and then all weekend bust ass on various household and content related matters. And I mean, for the most part, I'm succeeding. I had a little bit of a slip up where something stupid happened with my car yesterday, and I couldn't go to the gym in the morning, so I decided, fine, I can in the evening, so I'll just go. And then I ended up being up until 4 a.m. getting the fucking Jetman video done and up, because I wanna get the videos done and up in one sitting on Tuesday night for as long as I can. I want to make that happen, but that meant I only got like 3 hours of sleep, so I overslept the next morning, and I was only able to do half my workout. By the time I actually got to the gym, it was like I only had enough time to do that, and then I had to go to work, and then I was groggy for the first couple hours of work, and I'm surprised I'm not more exhausted now, honestly. Now I feel a lot more like normal and level-headed, aside from just being generally annoyed with everything. Like, again, in regards to the personal family shit that's going on, I just had a long conversation with my mom that got me real worked up about some shit. I'll leave it at that. I need to fucking leave it at that. But, I mean, for the most part, I have been hitting all my marks, but it's just been pretty irritating getting through it. The only thing that's really kind of keeping me optimistic is, A, I'm getting videos out in a somewhat timely manner the last, 3 weeks now? Is there 2 or 3? But I'm getting them out on what I would consider a more timely, tight production schedule. And 2, I am actually doing pretty good at the gym. For the last 3 days, aside from only being able to do half the workout today, I've actually been getting through things a lot quicker and a lot smoother than I used to before I really fell off towards the back half of the summer. And so that's been nice, and I hope I can continue to keep that up. I hope this winter is the winter where VAC becomes #not fat, because I'm fucking sick of teeter-tottering back and forth between almost not fat and legitimately kind of fat, because I feel like I've been doing that for the last 3 or 4 years since I started trying to get healthy and work out more regularly and more intensely. Like, I want to fucking get across that Rubicon, and I know fitness is a journey. It's a never-ending thing. But God, I'd like some legitimate fucking results. Is it so much to ask for one fucking ab? You know, that's kind of where I'm at with that and a lot of other things. You can probably fucking guess from the Jetman video, but I am feeling a little frustrated and a little stagnant in a couple different aspects of life right now, and I'm just trying to push. But hey, speaking of the Jetman video, it is doing pretty good. It could be doing a lot better, but it's also only been out for like, I want to say, actually, I just go to the channel dashboard. Yeah, it's been up for almost 10 hours now, and it's at 92 views. I know it just got a new comment. I'll look at that in a minute. I'll look at that when I'm done recording this. But yeah, it's steadily climbing up. It's not at the point of like exploding yet. It's still shown as like the second highest ranking video right now. I think it has to beat out the Drive video for quick engagement, but I think if it continues on this trend, it could explode at some point in the next couple of days. And if it does, that'll be really, really nice, because I really could use the serotonin from having 2 videos do pretty friggin' good this month. The video itself, I think as far as just like getting that core idea across, I did an okay job, but I discovered while editing that there was like a few different areas where I fell short. And the obvious thing is, I say several times that it's a 1980s Sentai, when in truth it's like the first true Sentai of the 1990s. And that's a big glaring mistake. I had to put text in to correct that, because I was like, if I don't, fucking annoying ass actually comments. But the other thing is, I talked a lot about, I talked more than I usually do about the creative process of the show, and I completely forgot, because I didn't do any research between watching Jetman and making this video. I've just had these ideas ruminating in my head for a while based off of my pre-existing knowledge of watching the show and hearing about it for years and years. And I know I have heard this somewhere before. I just didn't remember it until I saw it while looking on the fucking Super Sentai wiki. Jetman was initially planned to potentially be the last Sentai because of how stagnant the franchise had gone, and sales and viewership were kind of starting to drop. And I think that could have helped add to my points, and I think it also could have added to my point that there's some other stuff in there that I just completely failed to mention. The ending theme is very much a flowery way of stating the show's ideals. The whole thing about your heart is an egg, you have to love and nurture it so that it can hatch into something that someone else can love. That is basically what that song is all about, and that can be translated into the message I got from the show's ending. And on top of that, you have other examples of characters in the show that kind of mirror the Guy Cowrie love triangle and what it ultimately ends up meaning. Specifically, one of the fucking villains, Radicate, there's a whole arc of episodes where he loses his memory and becomes a normal-ass person for a little bit and starts falling in love with this woman, and as soon as he regains his memory, he just fucking murderizes her and goes back to being a miserable son of a bitch. And that, I feel is part of the idea that, in a way, is trying to state with the show. So, those are 2 things I would have liked to have talked about had I just remembered at the time with that video. And on top of that, again, because I was editing it much later at night than I have the last few videos, and I was really trying to get it done in one night, there's a huge chunk of that. You'll notice if you fucking watch it that, the first 5 or so minutes of it, there's a lot of screen caps I edited in. A lot of here's the visual example of what I'm talking about. About, I want to say 6 or 7, or just halfway through, it's suddenly barely any screen caps. I'm only putting in stuff where it's absolutely necessary, or where I had a example I can easily find by typing a set of words into Google Images, because it was fucking midnight and I didn't want to have to boot up Tokushatsu and take my own screen caps, which, not proud of that. I would have liked to have put that effort in, and I probably would have if it was like, say, 10 o'clock when I was at that point of editing it, which on a normal night would have been, but because I had car bullshit and I couldn't fucking get to the gym in the morning and I had to go in the evening, I didn't get home until like almost 10 o'clock, and then I had to make and eat dinner and fucking settle in. I had to make the thumbnail and all this and that and the other thing. That is one thing I will say, I really do like how the thumbnail came out. I'd never seen that image of all the Jetmen lined up like that. Like, I don't even think that's in the show, but I found that image just with a quick Google search, and I was like, oh, this is fucking primo Sentai video thumbnail. I'm taking this and run with it. And the funny thing is, I put a lot of work into cutting out the background for the blur. You can barely tell that the background's blurred on that image, but you know what? It keeps to my current thumbnail scheme, and that makes me happy. So, like, I don't know, maybe I'll revisit Jetman a third time at some point down the road, but for right now, the video we have pretty much says what I wanted to say, just not as strongly as I wanted to say it, and that's good enough, you know. Another thing I've been trying to do this year is let go of the idea of a video has to be perfect. No, it just has to be, man. You just have to get it out. And if anything, that makes this podcast worth paying for and listening to, is that I fucking screwed some things up and I get to beat myself up here, and you can hear behind the scenes of like, oh, here's why this and that wasn't in the video. So there you fucking go. I made it worth your while, I guess. And other than all that, not a lot been happening this week. I have been watching a fair amount of shit, because I finished Better Call Saul finally, and I can't believe they fucking stuck the landing again with that. Like, you would think an ending like Breaking Bad is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for a creator. Better Call Saul has an equally perfectly fitting and satisfying ending that, like, left me feeling really bittersweet and impressed, and almost kind of mad at myself that I don't think I have like another Breaking Bad universe video in, because longtime viewers of the channel will know I used to have a video that was just about the original 6 seasons of Breaking Bad, but I also that was like back when I was getting my feet wet as a video essayist, and it was very basic and rudimentary, like stuff anybody could figure out about Breaking Bad just from watching it, and ultimately it didn't fit with the channel, which is why like 1 or 2 restructurings ago it ended up getting did, and I have no idea where the files are. I think I might still have them, but I don't know where they are, and I don't think that's even a video that people are like ever going to be clamoring to watch. So, I don't know. Part of me would like to do a big, like, here's my thoughts on the entire Breaking Bad universe, but it's one of those things that it is so well made that I don't think I could do it justice on any level, even just taking that idea of, oh, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be. It's like, well, what is that video going to be then? Because I'm not even sure what angle to take with it because of how perfectly whole I think the entire thing of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, El Camino, that whole saga is. But, you know, that's just me. What else? Oh, I'm still working my way through Watchmen. I am taking it very slow with that. Like, I just got through the second section of Hollis Mason autobiography, which puts me at the start of issue 3. And I don't remember how many fucking issues Watchmen is. I know I'm like not halfway through the trade paperback, so it's gonna be a bit. But I'm enjoying going over these ideas again for the first time in so long. I don't really have much else to say other than that. And I don't think a Watchmen video is gonna come out of this, because Watchmen is another thing where it's like, what angle do I take with that? What do I say that hasn't already been said? And like, even though comic videos do generally tend to do better than I expect on the channel, Watchmen is, the same time, both an incredible, amazing, iconic, medium-defying work, and also, like, the most basic bitch thing you could ever fucking talk about. Like, I would have to come up with a really brilliant, really off-the-wall, you haven't heard this before, take on Watchmen in order to... And I'd have to have an incredible thumbnail and title in order to get a Watchmen video to do well, because who the fuck wants to hear what this random guy who talks about Japanese children's toy commercials talk about Watchmen? That's just not something people need or are going to be interested in, so I'm purely just doing that, and I am enjoying it. Other things I'm enjoying, I did watch the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka, and I am still keeping up with my adventures with Superman. I don't want to say too much about those, beyond like maybe a quick tweet or Blue Sky post every week, mainly because I don't want to get called a scab, but I am still liking my adventures with Superman, and I think Ahsoka is pretty good. I've seen a few people saying it's a bit exposition heavy, but I don't have a problem with it, because it's introducing a lot of stuff that's only ever been in animation, and you're going to have a lot of people who have only ever watched the live-action Star Wars watching that, so you kind of gotta. And also there's a lot of, like, stuff that happened between this and Rebels that they never showed, that we're being told about, that informs this story that you have to do, and that's why you drop the first 2 episodes to give you all that setup and get it out of the way, so next week you can just have some real fun. At least that's what I expect. That's what the formula is for these Disney Plus shows usually, and this one even has a little different feel than most of the Star Wars ones. It actually starts off with a friggin' title crawl exposition thing, but in like a different way than you usually see it in Star Wars, and it feels pretty solid. Also, they got fucking Clancy Brown to play his Rebels character in live action, and that made me so happy, because I love that man. That man's favorite actors, and it sucks that he can't promote this because of the strikes. Not that I'm blaming him or the union for striking. They need the fucking things they're asking for. It just sucks that we have to be in this situation, because what a cool moment that must be for him. Because he's an actor who does all kinds of stuff. He's been in all kinds of live action and animation, but how cool must that be for him, for one of his characters to, in this show full of characters going from animation to live action, he's like the one guy who's like, I played my character in the cartoon and now I get to play them in this. Like, fucking everyone else is recast with famous actor lady or new up and coming actor lady instead of original voice actress lady. And that's a little rough in my opinion. It's like, he's his fucking character, and David Tennant is still voicing the fucking robot he voiced in Clone Wars. And that's cool. I'm really happy for those dudes. But also, there's always going to be a part of me that goes, Rosario Dawson does an okay job, but like, it would have been a lot cooler if it had just been Ashley Eckstein in the makeup. Can't fucking deny that. Anyway, I also started watching the second season of Netflix Punisher finally, as my AC really kicks up. I don't know how much you can hear that, but yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in, but I'm liking how different it is from the first one. It feels like a very hard right turn into a completely different era of the Punisher, and I kind of like that. Like, I went to look up who the villain is from this season. The new guy, I think he's called like John Pilgrim or something like that. I don't know Punisher. Punisher is a huge blind spot for me in terms of comics. Like, I didn't even know fucking Billy Russo was Jigsaw until that reveal happened when I was watching the first season, and then I looked and I was like, oh, he's somebody, isn't he? And I went and looked him up, and I was like, oh, he's fucking Jigsaw. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, yeah, alright. And I've never heard of this fucking John Pilgrim guy, but he's a cool villain. I don't necessarily like his henchmen people, because something about the actors they hired to play them just looks like the kind of actors you'd see show up in a Best of the Worst movie, to me. John Bernthal's still great in the role, and the fucking lady and kid that he meets up with in the first episode are real cute, and I like him befriending them as just kind of like almost an old TV throwback. I'm just passing through store and then he fucks up everything kind of a story. the girl he's trying to help but keeps refusing his help. She's interesting. I feel like she could get real annoying if she keeps up her shtick, but I feel like they're probably going to drop that in episode 3, so I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to continue on with that, and then when I finish that, I think we're going to get back to 2003 Ninja Turtles, because I've been in a bit of a turtly mood lately, but that's all in the next month. This is the last segment of this month, so it is time that I tell you guys what I'm doing next month, because this is either going to come out tomorrow night or Friday, and you guys will have a bit of a jump on everybody who's going to hear about next month's slate at the live stream I'm going to be for the final bit of content for. So currently, and I say that because remember, card is always subject to change. Currently, I have thrown out the planned Super the entire theme month trilogy thing is just completely gone to shit. And this one is not even like I'm so pissed off, but I have to do this kind of a thing, like getting rid of Power Month was. This is, okay, I was going to try and do this, but it could be a lot better if I wait on it, because I actually commissioned some art assets and stuff from Boingo Rider for this, like I did for Freedom Month, and I was going to for Power Month, but he is really backed up on that. It's taking him a lot longer than he thought, and you know what, I would rather have them and just do the Supergirl videos when I'm ready to do them than try and force it out right now without that stuff. So because it's probably not even going to happen in a month that's like significant for her character, because September is the month of Supergirl's canonical day, and I was thinking I would either do it then or April, which is the month that the issue she originally debuted in came out. But the videos I was going to do on Supergirl probably aren't going to happen on either of those months now. So it's not going to be a Supergirl month, it's just going to be a Supergirl retrospect, and it's not going to be limited to 3 to 5 videos. It is going to be as many videos as it needs to be, and I'm kind of like replanning that, and it might be my end of the year thing, it might be a beginning of next year kind of thing, but right now it's just, it's not canceled, it's delayed. And because of that, I've pulled some videos from the end of the year that I had planned, and it's just going to be, here's just some videos that I really want to do, some things that I really want to talk about, no particular theme, except they all are kind of tokusatsu, but whatever. Toku month continues, I guess. There's no uniting theme. It's not like these aren't all from a specific era of my Toku fandom, showcasing different eras like this month has been. It's literally, hey, I have been wanting to all year do videos on Pacific Rim, Kamen Rider Kuga, and Dogutsu Sentai Zyuohger. And I was going to do them in November, December. I had planned all those videos, but because Supergirl month got planned, let's just fucking do them now. Because I know what I want to say for the most part, and I could probably get those done in a reasonable amount of time. So yeah, right now that is the plan. First week of next month we're doing a Pacific Rim video. Second week we're doing a video on Kamen Rider Kuga. And third week we're doing Dogutsu Sentai Zyuohger. And then we will be doing a stream for the final week of the month, which I will tell you about at the end of next month's Patreon podcast. But for right now, you can know what this month's stream is. This Tuesday night, I haven't decided what time, but probably just Tuesday night, whatever time is a little bit after I get off work, so I have time to get home and eat stuff. We are going to be doing a stream to kind of wrap up this Toku month of talking about like my different eras and how I grew as a Tokusatsu fan by doing a video on the other content creators who have gotten me into Tokusatsu and helped shepherd me through my interest in Tokusatsu. I'm going to be doing kind of a video essay review multi-live thing, like the newer OBS style video essays. I'm going to be doing that, but I'm going to be doing that live, and it's essentially just going to be like an hour and a half of shilling. It's just going to be me going like, so I found this guy, and he got me interested in this thing in Tokusatsu, and like got me to this point of my fandom, and this is why I like him, or like this is why I don't watch him anymore, that kind of a thing, yada yada hoo-ha. And then I haven't decided when, if it's going to be like halfway through as like a little breather, or at the end of like a hey, we made it. I have a couple SH figure arts that I have been meaning to open for a couple months now, sitting on my desk. Senchoku Seiho Kamen Rider Skull and Ultraman Reboot. So we're probably going to open those on that stream. And I'll have a event announcement, set your reminders thing up on the channel probably Saturday, Sunday sometime. Yeah, should be a good time. Hopefully some of you can make it out. If you can't, that's cool. Catch it on the replay. Yeah, we're going to do all that, and then at the end I'll let the general public in on what the planned slate for September is. I probably won't talk about all the super stuff. I'll probably just say, hey, this is what we're doing. Because I do want to keep some stuff for just you guys. Like I said, gotta make sure this is worth your while on some level. But whatever level it's worth it to you on, I thank you for your continued support throughout this month of August. It has certainly been a tough one for me, but it's also been a pretty rewarding one. We've had some really strong performing videos this month, and we've had some okay ones, and there's been a lot of bullshit in between. But for the most part, we made it. It's another month, one step closer to getting through the whole year. And yeah, I'll see you guys in September.